Evening, everyone. Yeah, I'll bring you up to date with what's happening. Rang City Yamaha yesterday to try and get those bushes for the rear shocks. They never sold them as an individual item. If the bushes wore out, you bought new shocks. Really strange. But I had a look at they sent me the diagrams via text message, email, and had a look at it, and yeah, there's no bushes listed, so I'm going to have to make some. So that's going to be a project to do over the next week or so. What else? I got my seat foam stuck on, so I stuck down the edge last night, and I've bored it out. Just did a little bit of tweaking. It was a little bit sort of broad on one side. It was a little bit broad here on the left hand side, and I just sort of it's like a woman with big hips sort of come out, so I had to take a little bit off that, but we've pretty much got the shape of the seat now, so a lot lower than it was. You can see there's the old seat. That's the old seat there, and that was the top part that I took off it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this for you guys, because it's I don't know if you can see any difference in size from there, but it's a hell of a lot smaller. It's more like an 80cc or 100cc seat, and you might have noticed that I've actually retitled the videos to XR100 rather than XR80, because technically I'm running a 110cc engine in it, so it's closer to a 100 than it is to an 80. So yeah, sorry if there's any confusion there, but you know, it's that's the way it goes. As you can see, I got the new bolts in, and they come through the metal plates perfectly, just enough to get a nut on there, which is perfect, so that's going to be good. As I said, my dad was going to go down and get me some aluminium sheet for there. I gave him all the measurements, which was basically anything they could pull out of their scrap bin between 1.3 mil and 3 mil was going to suit it. They actually gave him 10 mil plate, so he's had to take that back today, get me money back on that. When he told me how much it was worth, I thought, what the hell do they give him? I didn't see it till last night, but he said it cost you $17. Thinking, Jesus Christ, I've never paid that much for, you know, a piece of aluminium sheet, ever. I can get a 1200 by 2.4 meter sheet for $9. So yeah, when I saw what they gave him 10 mil, it was like, shit. So that's gone back. So he should have got me the a correct piece today. In regards to the trail bike, nothing else. In regards to my Hunter, some really good news. The local Hunter dealer gave me a call about midday today in regards to the parts I ordered yesterday, and he said that him and his brother are actually dismantling a Hunter Bobber, which was one of the other styles that they had in the Hunter range. They had a Daytona, a Bobber, a Spider, and I think there was one other one. I can't remember what it was, but they're stripping that down, and he feels really sorry for the situation I'm in. knowing that he'd done a roadworthy check himself on it in January, and that the seller didn't come back to him to have the roadworthy done, and he knows what the condition of the bike is, and he said, mate, I'm going to help you out as much as I can. We're wrecking this bobber. He said, rather than order a new brake master cylinder, the brake master cylinder on this bobber is exactly the same. It's in fantastic condition. Will save you some money if you want to go the second-hand one. He said the brake lines are in immaculate condition. He said the only thing we'll have to do is size them up. He said, so you got to get the bike to us. Now, I sort of thought that was a bit weird, because he's got probably about excuse me, probably got about 6 Hunter Spyders in the showroom. So I'm pretty sure he could lay the ones off the bobber up against the ones on his showroom bikes and measure it and let me know. There'll be a few of them that will probably fit. Maybe. It's hard to say, because I think the bobber had shorter forks, so you know the length of the cable here is going to be a little bit shorter, I think. This has got a longer rake on it. The only one that might fit is this one that runs from here to the actual brake master cylinder. That one would probably fit, and maybe this back one here, because although the bobber was a rigid frame, I think the dimensions are still pretty much the same. So that one there might fit. We've got one that comes from the reservoir for the front brakes down to the head stem. That will be the same. So it's only really these two front ones that are going to be the problem. For length, so I might have to go aftermarket on those. Spoke to him about the front wheel. Now he reckons that there's a tube in it. The roadworthy investigator reckons it's tubeless. Now, if I was to look at that valve stem, and you were to ask me what was in there, I'd tell you there's a tube in there, because that's not a tubeless valve. So I think it's definitely a puncher. So they said if you can, they said come down tomorrow night, which will be Wednesday, pick up the brake master cylinder, bring it home, bolt it up, bleed the brakes, pump up the tyre will stay up. No, maybe, I don't know. I definitely know it'll start 15 minutes, so that's enough to get me down to the dealership. So as long as I can get it down there, I don't care, because they can fix the tyre on the spot. So yeah, they'll fix the tyre up, and whilst it's down there, you know, I don't care. They can't charge me that much for replacing the cables. Like for labour, shit, I could give them a hand when I'm down there. It's only one bolt per end, so there's nothing to it. I think these guys will look after me, and we'll get this old girl on the road again. I might have mentioned it in the last video. I've got overflow problems from the carby. I thought the floats were set too high. After speaking to him, he said no, he's seen that problem before, and usually what it is the carbies need a good clean out. They're full of shit, so you know, he might end up getting another job out of that. And if he's going to replace the carbies, clean out the carbies, there's two of them, he'll replace the boot. Sorry about that. As you know, every time I'm filming something, the goddamn phone rings. So yeah. Anyway, getting back onto the Hunter, because they reckon this bobber, most likely the rear fender is going to be in really good condition too. So I might be able to buy the rear fender off them to replace this one. So yeah, it could be it could work out all good in the end. But yeah, I can't wait to hear from the Vic Roads investigator on Thursday after he paid his little visit to the bike mechanic, and find out what the end result was with that. So yeah, that's about it for now. I'm actually going to trim this tonight. Going to put all the vinyl on it and finish it off. And when I get stuck into that, I'll keep filming. Okay, I've started stapling this this seat fabric on. So started from the obviously one side, just work my way along, and I'm slowly working on this now. So just going to get something to prop this camera up, and we'll see how, you know, how we go. Whoops. Yeah, it's looking good, guys. It's looking good. Geez, the last time I did this was at least 20 years ago when I retrimmed the seat. Sometimes you'll put a staple in and you've got to pick it out, you know, it's a little bit loose in one spot where you should have sort of pulled it a bit tighter. But yeah, it's trial and error. So what I'll do now, try and take all the wrinkles out of it. I'm not worried about the crease lines in it from where it was folded, because they will work themselves out eventually. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to pull that and just put a couple in here. I didn't want to get right up near the edge, because if I have to take the staples out, then you're going to see the staple holes. So they're starting to come up really nice now. Got to shape it in all around here. So yeah, we'll just keep plugging away. Oops. Sorry about the compressor, guys. I had a couple of hits and misses with the stapler. just then. Had another miss there. That actually went into that hole there. You know, it's you got to be careful. You can't actually push down hard on this thing, because what happens is it goes straight through the vinyl. You've got to leave it just like just barely touching the surface. Just very light on. That'll go around the. That'll still go around the frame nice. That'll stretch, which will help pull the cover even tighter. Be nice. So where are we at? So this is what I was talking about the other day, where like there's such a small amount of area on the back that, you know, I can put a pleat in there and no one will even know. Like one nice horizontal pleat just there. Like I've got to obviously pull all this stuff in nice and tight first to get it all shaped, and then yeah, put the pleat in. I didn't bring a pair of scissors out with me. Should have. But so that's how she's looking at the moment, guys. It's coming up alright. You know, no masterpiece, as I said, but it's a hell of a lot better than what I had. So we could probably do a little bit more here on this side. Get it all nice and taut. What I will do is, up against this edge here, I will pull that vinyl in right in along the edge, and I will staple in along there. But for the moment, I just want to get enough staples in it to sort of hold it all in place, and then I can do all my little tweaking and bits and pieces later. So here we've got to pull this extra tight, because I'm going to actually push the bolt through the vinyl. There we go. That's nice. So the two bolts are now through the vinyl. You can see that the shape's coming up nice. That needs a few more staples in there. Around that. I'll pull that down and staple that in around that cutout. One was a little bit of a hit and miss. The front, pretty much the same. As I was saying, it's like sort of gift wrapping a present, you know. What I'm going to do here, simply just fold that like that. That way there's no stitching involved. So we'll follow that right out to the edge. You've got to be careful I don't pull down too hard on the foam, because if I do that, if I pull down too hard on the foam, I'm going to lose that nice little kick up in the front of there. I'll just put a couple in there just for now. You can see that. You can see the fold, but when that pushes up against the tank, all you're going to see is the edge. So the same with this. We'll do this side too. This is where I might have to trim a little bit, because it's a little bit long on this side. But we'll know in a second. I've got to trim around that bracket too. So let's see how we go. Nice and easy for an upholsterer, but yeah, I don't mind dabbling with fabric and stuff like that. No master at it, but you know, I'll get the job done. I'll get the job done. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's probably a little bit too much fabric on here at the moment. So I'm just going to grab. I want to grab a pair of scissors. I'll grab a knife. I'll grab a blade, and it's always the scary part. Yeah, I don't know how much I need to take off the back here. And it's sort of hard to know where to stop at the front. Just trial and error, eh? What I figure is if I stuff it up, it's only $20 worth of material. Good learning experience. So if I yeah, I've got to buy some more. I've got to buy some more, but I don't think I will. I don't think I'll need to. I've got some old scissors here, but they're pretty sharp, and we might just sort of try and hack that through. I don't want to leave myself short though. I don't know whether I should sort of start now veering in towards the centre, or Oh, one thing I must I must apologise for, guys, because I don't realise I'm doing it. I'm actually filming. Is I've got this habit of sticking my tongue out when I'm concentrating. You know how many years I've been trying to break that habit? Played as a professional musician for 20 years. Over 20 years. 28 years. You think they could get one decent photo of me without my tongue's hanging out on stage? So yeah, that's yeah, you'll see that a bit. It's unfortunately I don't. Yeah, like I said, I don't realise I'm doing it. I can think a lot worse habits to have. Now, as you can see, it's sort of gathered up there, but you know, keep working it. Just having a look at that front edge because I don't want to lose that front edge. I don't want it to be too bulky here either. Definitely taken a lot of fabric off it. It's just a matter of folding it in the right way. Trying to get it tucked underneath, and there we go. Just being gentle, I guess. That's looking better already. Yeah, that's better. So what I'll do, I'm going to have to unpick the two staples from the other side, but what I'll do is I'll get, this side seems to be right on the money, so I'll get two staples in there. And the other thing with this too, guys, is if I really don't like that, put a bit of that Sally's Quick Grip on there and just glue the seam. So yeah, we're going to unpick these two. Where's my pick tool guy? I love these things. I got two of them. So there's one out. That's the other one. Staples. So now we can sort of fold that to follow the contour of the seat. So yeah, call this a process video. Alright, we got to get this all tucked up in the corner here, don't we? So make sure that that's all nice and neat. Got a bit of a hacked staple there. No, what that's hit something. There's actually a metal plate inserted into the plastic at the back here where the original seat mount brackets used to be, and I think sometimes when you go to put a staple in, I end up clipping it, just catching that, just the edge of the plate. It's molded into the plastic. So I'm going to try and get a staple in there without going through my finger. Yep, alright, that one's in. Starting to look a little bit the same as the other side now. Still pulling out some ripples. But as you can see, guys, we're getting there. We're getting a seat together. Also making a mess. So yeah, it's not that hard, you know. Give it a go yourself. You haven't got much to lose. It might cost you $20 in vinyl, but you know, it's all good. I'd love to be able to get these corners perfectly round here. That'd be really nice. Just like the, you know, following the foam, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. It's, do the best you can with what you got. So I'm just going to finish stapling off along the edges here, guys, and I'll start the video up again later. Okay, guys, I've set it just on top of the bike. I haven't actually mounted it properly, but that's just to give you a bit of an idea of what it looks like. As I said, I'd love to be able to just tuck these little ears in on the corner and round it off, and I could do that. I could use some industrial thread and stitch it if I wanted to, but I'll wait and see how it goes with the tank on. That crease will come out with time, but it's come up pretty good. I'm happy with it. Nice clean finish on the back. It's just got the 2 pleats there, and that's our bike seat done. A lot better than it was. That's what we finished up with underneath, guys. So most of the pan's covered. It's quite neat in the back here. It's not too bad. A few little creases, but that's to be expected. You know, it wasn't a molded vinyl cover. I'm not an upholsterer, so yeah, I'm happy with it. It'll do what it's meant to do.